Hello everyone. We have our news for the week, so let's take a look at everything. So first up, maintenance, same time as usual, no surprises. Ending with maintenance is going to be Item World and Clash of Wills. Last chance to get those done there. New units, they're giving us our last fan unit, Ygni, and we're also getting Cleome. There's a couple of things to talk about there, but let's just go up the list here. So first, our login stuff. Because they're giving us Cleome, we're getting the item that we would have gotten from her side story as a login. And it doesn't look like they're boosting her for global, and we'll talk about that in a second. So we're getting our 30 shards for Ygni and the other normal login stuff that we get all the other times. Treasure summon for the new unit, same as usual. I always avoid those. We are getting Dark Visions, and what that means, Dark Vision tickets. And the unit pool for this round is not that bad. Cacteria and Arden for Neo Visions are really good. And we get a chance at Elena, whose NVA is really good. Beatrix is solid too. Assassin Shadow's not bad. Gilgamesh is very versatile. So there's quite a few useful units that we can get from those tickets. And what they've been doing with all the other fan units is we can upgrade their trust. So the trust for Ygni, they're going to be a dual-wielding magic attacker, and they want to use daggers, it looks like. So we'll be able to boost their trust. I'm assuming it's only going to let us do one. That's all we've really ever been able to do, but still, decent. 50% magic, 20% health, 50% dual-wield magic. Not bad. Design for the unit is good. One of the ones that I voted for when we were voting. We are getting more story. I actually like the story. I know a lot of people don't. So Dark Visions, they're giving us a heads up. Now it looks like they're doing something a little bit different where some of the domains we can use physical or magical. I don't know if that's a mistake or if it's just a new change coming. So as we can see, starting on the first day in the 26th, physical and magic earth and physical lightning. And then 2 days later, magic wind and physical and magical ice. And then 2 days after that, physical magical darkness and physical magical light, and then the last one. So we'll have to see if that's just going to be a new thing or not there. Also coming is 2 new weapons. So we're getting the spear and the staff, and the staff is magic and not spirit on it. So something to keep in mind there. One of the big things is the new Chronicle battle. We're getting Terra's sword upgrade. So this is going to be very worth doing. So we're going to be able to enhance Terra's trust, and it's going to give her 500 raw magic and 50% limit damage. So it's going to be very useful. Also bumps it to 210 base magic. Very useful there. Also going to be able to upgrade the Thunder Shield. Not quite as useful, but still decent. I mean, 50% lightning resist. You can get 120 spirit on it. And I mean, if you're using Final Fantasy VI units, they get raw 500 health and 125 spirit, which is good, but that's only for Final Fantasy VI units. They're also bringing back all the fan bosses. Now these are going to be very worth doing because we're getting the dual killers again, which are super useful. We should be able to craft 2 of each max, is what it's usually been. So the first fight is Aquatic and Avian, 75% at the max version. Second boss gives us Reapers and Insects, again 75% at max version. And the third boss is Dragons and Plants. And honestly, you can never have enough killers. And then obviously giving us drop bonuses for Neo Vision units, namely the fan units. Also adding in Ling and Elena and Louise. So pretty useful there. Wondering how those fights are going to be, because a couple of those, they came out and they made them too hard by mistake or something. So we'll see if they come out at a big difficulty or too easy. Again, they're giving us the notice about the favorite equipment. 10-man trials go away on the 1st. They're extending the slot summons for the 50th anniversary extravaganza. That's all that update is. So let's look at our summon banner. So Ygni and Cleome are the featured units. Giving us the panel rewards, so that means most likely not discounted summons. So as we can see, base form for Ygni, Magic Attacker and Buffer, and Shift is Magic Attacker and Debuffer. Interesting roles, but we have to see the kit, because I mean there's a couple of things that could make this unit really strong, and a couple that just make it eh. So Super Trust, 100 attack, 180 magic daggers, and dual wield magic on them. Base Trust just doesn't have the dual wield magic on it until you upgrade it. Card is pretty decent as well. We can look at that in a second. So a couple of the featured abilities. Now their cooldown that they feature here looks very nice, but it depends on what else is in the kit. Because this is essentially Zaan's give my buffs to everybody. I mean, this here is all your stat buffs, all your physical and magical killer buffs, and physical, elemental, and views. Also says it boosts damage to certain abilities. Maybe it just boosts all magic non-limit damage for everybody. We'll have to see when we get the data mine. So that is very interesting, but only if we can pair that with something else. I mean, regular stat buffs, very easy to just 300 plus buff an entire party. So the main use here would be the elemental imbue and the killers. So we have to see if they have a way to steal those from somebody else and then be able to spread them to the team, or if they have good versions that they can cast on themselves that they can then give to the team. I mean, Louise does 50% killers to everything, to everybody. 100% killers, most units have something that will group buff the party for 100% killer. So really, we're looking at, we need 150 plus on the killers to make it really useful there. The Magnus ability, remove positive status effects and reduce attack, defense, magic, and spirit for all enemies, which is good. Boost stats for the caster, depends on how big that boost is, but I mean, pretty much having a perfect dispel and break. If the break is at least 85%, that's good. If it's more, that's even better. We'll have to see what the data mine now. And another interesting thing is the shift form. Shrouding Veil here has morale based damage. So they're giving us a morale unit without Clash of Wills, which is very interesting. Also focused on dark damage, so maybe the next Clash of Wills might focus around dark damage. We'll see. But again, it all depends on what the numbers are. They really don't give us enough information in the news here. We'll go over Cleome in a second there. So let's take a look at the card. So maxed out 110 magic is good. 80% magic with a dagger, which is pretty good. And then Brave Exvius only units get a physical and magic fairy killer for 50%, which is actually pretty decent. So overall, this is a fairly useful card. And then we're just getting, probably going to be in a bundle again, the card that we've had already, the Fight and Flight. Okay, so let's take a look at Cleome. Now, she is the disappointing one. So on JP, she already has enhancements and an NVA. So in the news and game, there didn't seem to be any notification that she's going to have her NVA form, which is disappointing considering how late she is coming into the game. And there's nothing that says global upgrade or anything. So I'm hoping at a bare minimum They give us her enhancements that JP has as like her base kit. We'll see what they actually do during the data mine. It's just JP has a bunch of stuff for her already, and it just seems like they're just giving us the base form, which is disappointing. So as a base unit, she's just okay. I mean, 7-star. She can do Dark Fire and Ice. She's got her one finisher move. 10 times base mod with ignore 50, so that's a 20. A lot of her stuff here adds to the modifier, so she's got imbues for everything. And then we can see some of the enhancements that she gets are really nice. Like this one here adds 150x to her finisher, which with the ignore 50 is adding 300x to the finisher. So with her enhancements, she's really nice. Whether or not they're going to give us her enhancements to start, we'll have to see. I mean, they don't really make a mention of it, so I'm not expecting it, which is disappointing. But I mean, she has a couple of the things that her dual unit with Axstar has. But overall, as just a base 7-star, she's just a double hand katana user, really. Machine and Reaper killer focus. Her NVA is really nice. She turns into like a mini Sephiroth in her shift form. But it doesn't look like we're getting that. Don't know when we'll see that. So, very big mischance here. I mean, her TM is good. It's a katana. Or her super is good. It's a katana, 181 attack. Decent variance with the machine and Reaper killer. Her materia for the regular TM is just okay. I mean, only 25% killer for machine and Reapers. Not much to write about there. And actually, the news says, so they must have upgraded her regular TM on JP2, because our news only says it's 20% attack with the killers. But still, only 25% killers is nothing too great. I mean, helping if you want to finish out a tiny bit there. And that seems to be everything that we're going to get right now. So as far as pulling for Ygni, it's really going to come down to what we see for modifiers. Because there is a chance that they can become like a Neo Vision version of Mastermind Zahn, with stealing and imbuing the whole party with some stuff. And then there's a chance that they just don't have that extra ability to steal, and we'll have to see what buffs they can hit themselves with. Because like I said, the stat buffs really don't mean nothing unless we're buffing over 400%. If it's over 400% buffs, then we can start to notice there. Anything less, then that part of it's just moot. And if we follow with the JP a little bit, Dragon Quest collab might be soonish. There's also been rumors of Tomb Raider coming up next month. So we'll have to see how things go and have to decide how to spend resources around. So I won't know if I'm pulling for Ygni until after the data mine and I get to look through the kit or not. Anybody that decides to pull, good luck there. And that seems to be all the news, so we're going to end the video here. Hope everybody enjoyed.